Brap. Don't kill the Reaper now. I don't know the rest of that song.
The Reaper's already dead.
It's Don't Fear the Reaper.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
The Reaper's already dead. You can't kill him.
I mean, damn, dude, you just, like, went live and then proved that you didn't know the lyrics to Blue Oyster Cult's only good song.
I don't know the lyrics to any song. I can recognize the song.
Which is funny.
That's
because,
it.
You know,
It's
your
the
dad
title.
knows the lyrics to everything.
Oh, you know how many song names I know the actual titles of? Like 3. Hi, Damien. Of course, at this point in time, Damien shows up too. Damien's like, hey!
Damien knows the lyrics.
Damien's here to judge you.
Next is Stream Niece, swinging from your hair.
No, she's asleep. Because she's got school tomorrow, fortunately. Or she's supposed to be asleep and she's sitting in her bed. And,
I was going to say, you think she's asleep.
That might be true, too. Yeah. Oh, Damien. Okay. So yes, I confess, I can recognize music, but this is why I don't like musical trivia, because I can, A, barely identify artists and song names. Artists maybe, song names certainly not. And then, like, the lyrics, I might remember them. Look, I always had, you can dance if you want to, you can leave your pants behind for the longest time.
Oh,
Leave
buddy.
your pants behind.
Oh, buddy.
I know it's different now, I know what it actually is, but...
I know, but
Please
you're
tell me
not
what it
allowed to leave your pants behind.
You can leave your friends behind.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Or your friend's pants.
Why did the... Hang on, if you thought it was pants, what did you think the next lines were?
I can't remember. I had something for it.
The next line is, you can dance, you can dance.
No,
Everybody
the next
look
line
at
is,
my pants.
because if your friends don't dance...
Pants. Oh yeah, they're no
Because
friends
if your
of mine.
pants don't dance,
Because if your pants don't dance, they're no pants of mine.
Dude.
But actually, that actually might make sense a little bit. If your pants don't dance, they're not dancing pants. They're no pants you really should have. That's why
why
you
would
can
they
leave
be singing about dancing pants?
No, like, not like literal dancing pants. Like, they're pants for dancing in, the idea. Like, you know, they're not great pants. The pants are dancing because you're
digging
dancing.
yourself a deeper and deeper hole here, man.
I think it's time to stop.
The pants are
Admit
dancing because
defeat.
you're dancing.
Take the L.
Listen, this ain't fucking poggers, man.
So
Fuckers,
not
God.
poggers.
Damn you kids and your newfangled language.
Do you want me to talk in new style?
Not really, no. I barely remember it is.
Alright,
Also,
personal
dude,
challenge to me. I'm gonna use as much newfangled slang as possible.
Look,
for
I
this
know a
discussion.
little bit of newfangled
Wait,
slang, so I'll
wait.
probably pick up maybe 33 to 50% of it. I at least watch enough streams. And
This
it
works out well because I'm playing an old man in game and I don't know any new slang.
I
Are-
bet.
Are you going to also do new math as well?
No, I never learned new math.
No one learns
I
new
barely
math.
learned old math.
Yeah.
I changed majors to not do math.
Well, I did a major that was math, so hey.
So you learned
Yeah.
old math.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now look at you. I'm sorry.
I at least got the associates. Well, you know, if hey. I didn't fail out of school because I wasn't doing okay. I failed out of school because I injured my foot and couldn't walk around on crutches in the middle of winter because I have weak noodly arms.
To be fair, I have a fucking bachelor's degree and I work in retail, so I can't say
Hey,
shit.
same!
Mm-hmm.
Feel that.
I don't work retail, but I do work customer service.
I'm a
Anyway,
food service person.
now that we
I work in IT, and I just went to business school.
I did, now to be fair, I did apply to grad school yesterday, and I had a call with another grad school today.
And I just got my certificate. So
Congrats.
that's all. No, I mean, that's all I have. I got it years ago.
I'm gonna try for a certificate. We'll see how that goes.
My
I
glasses.
went to college 4 separate times technically because I was a secondary ed and history major. I was a theater major. I also went to school for culinary. And then I went to business school to get my IT certification.
Yep. See, like, I only went 3 times, and 2 of those times were one after the other because I finished up community college and transferred directly into an actual college, and it sucked. Honestly.
It's mads!
Very good.
glasses.
You found your
And my
glasses.
face.
Face is very good.
Yes, face is
Very
good.
hard approval on the face.
Mm-hmm.
The face took me about 20 minutes because I forgot how time worked.
Look,
Don't we all?
we all do.
We're all here. We're all hot. Let's do this shit, man.
Woo!
Fuck yeah.
And I think we're starting. Wait, is everyone in the? No, not everyone is in the game.
Give me a
Oh, my roll
goddamn
20
minute.
crashed.
No.
I was in the
Hayden,
game.
that's
My roll
you're in the
20
game.
crashed.
I just got in, like
I just
just
noticed
now.
it.
All right, well, you're not
Look,
the last.
I ran a game today. I'm tired.
I
It's
worked.
funny because
Yeah, I
we're
worked a
starting with
job.
you.
I
Did you
biked
start? Did you
an
start a
hour
new
in
game
the
today,
snow.
Momo?
I started a new game today.
Oh God. Well, I'm planning on starting a bunch of new off-stream games, which will hopefully a
No
bunch of would
reason
lead.
to talk, sir. I've seen the amount of games you run.
Oh, I'm only running like 2, maybe 3 right now. I'm planning on like putting like 3 off-stream games that'll eventually lead to stream games. I don't know when, but I'll work on those.
Skyrim updating.
I have so many games that I want to run because I keep buying books.
I know that feeling.
I found a rip of Strixhaven and ooh baby.
Mm. Anyway, speaking of magic, since we did have that tangent there for a second, we're playing Children of Wrath. We're in Dominaria, you're in Yavimaya, and last time, interesting things happened. Claud squeezed inside of a giant metal... he squeezed inside of Mechagodzilla. There was some kind of...
After getting the shit beat out of me.
Yes, because it's got like defenses, specifically anti-air defenses. They do have a limited range, so you have to generally get pretty close. But it is
I was trying to get on it, so that's generally pretty close.
Yeah, but you did learn that there's two levels of defenses. There's these spikes, which can target with lightning bolts, basically, and then it's got kind of like a loose energy field. Akin to, I would describe it, it's a primitive form of the... Because there is an actual force field spell in Magic. It's like that. So it does actually have some form of limited force field, too. But that's less annoying for you. That didn't do as much as the spikes which shoot lightning. There was something horrible in there. You had contact with a good friend of yours who informed you because it seems there was an interference with Traxos, but Traxos wasn't supposed to wake up. Basically, the interference was supposed to set it up to wake up, not to use, it sounded like to be more, here's a distraction in case we need it, if something's going wrong, you know? Because Traxos is a pretty big
say
threat.
more of a frenemy.
Yeah, it's, we're having trouble because something has gone wrong on our plan. Let's wake up Traxos to distract everybody so that we can recoup.
Yes.
But unfortunately, Traxos is now woken up early.
Yeah. And there's also what used to be a humanoid creature that's now an artifact creature.
And it seems slightly
Inside.
corrupted, too, I would say.
A goop man.
Mm-hmm. And you could see that there definitely was a pattern of black mana in there that seemed unusual.
Yes. Well,
Uh,
he said, my frenemy said that they put two objects into it. So
Yes. One sounds like, if folks guessed it, it sounded like Phyrexian oil. The thing is, there was already Phyrexian components in Traxos because Phyrexian influenced under Mishra in developing it. Those components, as far as you knew, hadn't really woken up, or if they weren't really dominant or useful. So you're not sure how this is going to react in it, because the oil has a better effect on organic systems, so that's a question about what it's going to do. It does still affect mechanical things, but to a lesser degree.
yeah.
Anyway,
No worries.
now we switch over to Cole, though. That's where we were going to join today, as
I
Cole
get
is
to
meeting
do-
with the heads of an army, and to organize it for war. As you return to the ruins of Krug and the Druid encampment, you can see that there now seems to be more individuals there. There seems to be a bunch of gorillas, and kind of like standing on top of one of the buildings is a very familiar-looking gorilla, seemingly off on his own, like looking off into distance towards Traxos with like a glaring look.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Not gonna bother him. He seems busy.
Oh, you met him.
Yeah, Grun's just...
I'm the one who got him on our side.
Yeah.
He's our king now.
He's your king now, yeah. He's busy, like, glaring, you know, like, enemy.
Reiterate, I bow to no man or gorilla.
I was gonna say he's not a man.
And I clarified before you could.
And down in the encampment, of course, is your, seems to be a delegation from the elves. Actually, 2 elven delegations. One that seems to be of what you're guessing is the elven barbarians, who certainly were on alert regardless because they're the border guardians of Yavimaya. You know, and hey, something is going on at the borders of Yavimaya. Of course, the other Yavamayan elves are there, the ones that are normally there. Good old... you do not see Thunder. But you do see, of course... what is he? Calm.
Okay.
Who was the head of the druids.
Okay.
I just checked my notes because I had to remember which one is which.
Probably good that Thunder is not here.
Yes. And Teverith is there also, just kind of hanging out. Seems to be not particularly, like, invested in what's going on for what kind of discussion is happening, but the 3 groups and it looks to probably be, you're guessing, maybe a delegation or a member of the gorilla tribes, probably speaking for Grun, or at least pretending to, is hanging out there too. So the 4 of them are in, like, kind of like meeting and chatting as you're walking down into the thing here with Kesh.
Okay. Then there's like a war table or something set up where they're talking.
It's basically like the big meeting area that you had been in before to meet with Calm. He's using that as a place where they're all kind of getting together.
I will go there, I suppose, with this android child.
Mm-hmm. Ah, Cole. Good to see you again.
It's good to see less insane people.
We were just discussing what's going on. The beast and its spawn have begun to wake up. We were honestly surprised it hasn't attacked or moved.
We got a good look at it. We're not really sure what it's doing yet.
The master Artificer has no idea?
Well, I could contact him, I suppose, with a spell to ask. They are currently observing it, and I'll cast Sending to Kaz and be like, "What's it doing? Do you know?"
I think it's accumulating power of some kind. I can't be certain how much longer it's going to be doing so. It's not approaching because I don't think it is fully capable quite yet.
That was definitely more than 25 words, I think.
I don't count things.
So that cuts off at some point in there. I'll explain that it's like he thinks it's building power.
The gorilla will kind of go, "Do you think it would be vulnerable now?"
Well, it's not moving currently, so that might be the best time to strike it. Remind me what our dumb plan was.
So we want to have the armies fight the other dragons.
Okay.
Well, we'd throw a
armies-
bomb in its throat.
Okay, that's a sound plan. But we think it'd be wiser if the armies engage its minions. They're like robot dragons, right?
Yeah.
They're also smaller robot
The
dragons.
smaller robot dragons.
They're still massive.
They're still pretty big. We think it might be smarter if you engage those. We found some forms of explosives we intend to use on the big one to hopefully disable whatever is going to shoot out of its mouth.
All right. That is a. So it has some form of dragon-like breath weapon. What you were saying.
That's what this one says, and I'll gesture to Child.
Hi. There's like some eyebrows raised from the old man.
It's a long story. And I don't fully understand it.
Well.
But they seem to know a bit more about this thing than I do, so...
Should we wait for them to return?
It might be wise. They were scouting about. They may know a little more about what it can do. Knowing them, either one's dead or they've hurt themselves.
That isn't reassuring.
They're chaos, but they get the job done.
Well. I guess we should just wait for them to return. What do you want our forces to do then? Who should lead? What should our various groups do?
Well, think for a moment. It might be... could be wise to, rather than engage them on a forward attack, as they are quite large, perhaps they can be more, like, I want to say, like, quote-unquote ambushed, but like hit and run kind of thing on the little dragons. The words are escaping me. More of like a hit and run tactic rather than a direct engagement. I have seen them a little bit closer. They are quite large.
Well, I guess then we should make appropriate plans to fight these things. Gorillas strong! Gorillas crush! Puny metal lizards.
I have no doubt of that. I have seen your people's strength. It's quite terrifying.
Then we prepare for war. The groups will various groups will kind of get together and begin to like assemble their troops. As you're kind of like waiting for the others to return and kind of like helping organize things a little bit here, you'll actually see a strange... well, one of the gorillas will come up to you. You... leader of, outsiders, yes?
Well, they do pay me to do things, so I guess, currently.
Okay. We see strange thing in sky.
What did it look like?
Black shape. Moving towards us. Very fast.
Alright, well, prepare to fight it if it lands.
Okay. It's coming from east, not south, where big metal beast is.
Can I see it?
Well, you're like in like a forest, honestly.
True.
Yeah.
Well, if I could get an vantage point, I could try and look at it and see if I recognize it as something we've seen.
Okay!
Oh god.
You're gonna get
What have I done?
scooped up!
Oh good lord.
And carried up the trees
Hell
by
yeah.
a gorilla. Who's like...
Poor old man.
He's like, if I could get a... Oh, crap, what did I just say? Is the reaction.
Oh fuck.
He'll just climb up, like, the giant trees and get you all the way up to the top, kind of, like, shoving you through parts of the, a slightly taller tree outside, that kind of goes a little bit outside of the normal canopy. As there's this black shape in the distance that seems to be getting closer very rapidly.
Pull out a spyglass and look at it.
It seems to be like a swirl of black energy almost.
That's concerning.
Like it just looks like maybe like shadows or mist that's all like black just swirling around.
Alright. Have I seen anything like this? I doubt it.
Actually, roll. I'll take Arcana or Religion. Either of those would work here.
Well, they're both at -1, so we'll see how this goes.
Okay.
I'll press this button and roll a 12.
Alright, you've not seen anything like this before, honestly. This is something weird. You don't know what this is at all. It just is... It's coming this direction. It's just strange.
And it doesn't look like it has a form, other than like a weird cloud.
You can't say. The cloud has a shape to it, so there could be something inside the cloud, but you can't see enough.
I have no idea what this is. Can I try and figure out where it's specifically heading from, like, mathing out its trajectory, even though I'm an idiot with 8 intelligence?
Yeah. It's gonna be here soon, though. Definitely.
Guess I will do ascending to someone smarter than me and describe it. And be like, hey, it's coming, it might be bad.
Okay, so you're sending to Kaz?
Either Kaz or Carrion, because both do seem to have intelligence.
You're not wrong. We both have intelligence.
Yeah.
Well, both
Probably
of
the
you
Kaz,
could
and then Kaz can
make a
ask.
check with disadvantage, because you're getting a description of it and not seeing it.
I do have a spyglass.
Um...
Can I not help?
I have a
Give me-
spyglass, and I also am wearing a monocle that allows me to see magic and the
Okay.
massive flows of energy.
You
I'm
can
also
give
very-
me... Okay, you can give me just a straight perception right now, then, first, with using the spyglass. Carrie, if you're watching that area that's been described to come from, give me perception with disadvantage. Because you're even farther off from where they are, you know. By a
Oh,
good
I'm
chunk.
not gonna see shit.
Yeah.
It's funny though.
Nice.
fucking tracked.
So,
Yeah.
Kaz, you can't really see it per se, but using the monocle, you can almost see that there is a source of black mana coming that direction, or something that's generating a bunch of it.
Black mana?
Black mana, I mean, like, honestly, there are a lot of things that use black mana. I mean, you are associated with one that you don't like, but there are other things that are associated with black mana, too.
Yeah. Like Carrie.
Like Carrie.
And you,
Mm-hmm.
Claude, you have a lot of black mana.
Yeah?
I'm black and blue.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Well.
just here for a good time.
For a good time, call Carrie.
Yes, as long as you are female.
And domineering. I'm trying to think of words to say now that you've reminded me I have to be limited to 25. Large source of black mana. Don't know what it is. Proceed with caution. It's only 13. I got 12 more, but I don't have much to say. Also, note, this thing not totally dormant has defensive systems. There you go, 23, and you get some information out of it.
Ah, sweet. I will relay it. I'll ask to be taken out of the trees to the ground.
You will be violently, well, not violently, forcefully again removed from your spot and taken down to the bottom.
Sure.
You know.
Alright, I'll go inform a druid of this because he is smarter than I am.
You've seen a what now?
Shrug.
Alright.
I'll just relay everything Kaz said.
Interesting. Well... Perhaps... we could be ready for it. It could be dangerous.
I think that's a good decision.
Alright then. Excellent. Alright, so, you will prepare a group as this, thing gets closer quite rapidly. In a span of about 10 minutes, it will approach. And then it will, seemingly as it gets, like, over where your encampment is, kind of, like, not stop, but have, like, a quick turn straight down. Coming down towards your encampment.
That seems fine. Definitely. I have a weapon ready.
Okay.
And my staff.
The black energy will kind of, like, aim for a spot seemingly away from everybody that you can kind of easily, I guess, be prepared for, as it will kind of impact down and kind of then, like, almost with, like, a, like, shadowy whisper kind of, like, emanate out over all of the things nearby. Probably freaking out a lot of folks, just saying, you know. Everybody's, like, on guard and screaming.
Yeah, that's fair.
Inside is a, like, cloaked figure. Just covered in, like, these robes. Massive figure. Maybe 8-9 feet tall.
That's pretty tall.
Mm-hmm. Give me a perception check.
Alright, I'm actually decent at perceiving things. Not if I roll like that.
Okay. it's covered in these kind of like sets of like all kinds of robes that kind of hide a lot of its form and shape completely. They almost seem like layered robes. With that perception, I'd say like it definitely seems like maybe something that would have been used more in a desert environment, honestly. But again, the figure is big.
Alright, who are you? State your business. I say, as this tiny old man.
You're not tiny.
I'm 5'7". I'm small.
Where are they?
You're
Short boy.
small!
Short old man.
Oh, look at me. I'm 5'7". I'm so short. Fuck you.
Where are
To
the
be fair,
idiots?
Carrie's only 5'9", so.
Oh, you know them too.
Yes.
3'8".
They're looking at that big thing, like idiots.
Do you think they're trying to do something coy? Stupid?
I've spent like less than a month with them, and that is the only thing they do.
How woo.
I'll be back. The kind of like the figure will kind of pull out like their arms, so you can kind of see that they've got kind of like wrapped hands that you can see has like a bit of armoring on the backs of the hands, so probably some kind of armor or gauntlets, definitely. As you'll see it, like a wreath of that same kind of black energy will appear in their hand, as they'll kind of then just put their arms down, and it'll be wreathed in that shadows again, and they'll kind of leap up into the air again. This time heading south.
Why did I agree to do this? Why am I still here? Just to suffer.
Every day I get emails.
Suffering is part of life.
What are you and Kaz doing? Claud's gonna take a while to get back.
I'm swimming.
I mean, there's only so much I can look at, right? Unless you're gonna allow me to make another attempt at.
I would say you have looked as looking as you can with your look.
You look as looking as you can with your looking.
Yeah,
Look,
I did not get very good tinker
I
tools.
said that, and I was like, what the hell am I saying? You can probably see in my face as I'm saying it.
They were technically words that you used.
I was like, these are words I'm using somehow.
I looked at your looking look that looked the look.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we've looked as much as we can look with our looking look.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We should try to wait for. Well, here's the thing. I don't know how to contact Claude when he's like this.
With
Unless you have message, you can't.
with your mind.
Well, I don't have any way of contacting people with my mind.
Why did I not take one of those spells?
Why didn't I? I don't know if they were available to me. Let's.
I don't know if that's part of your wheelhouse. It should be mine.
We could, I believe. I think we had agreed to meet up on the Hellkite afterwards. I
Or we
would-
could do more stupid shit.
Well, here's the thing. I want to ready the crew for combat, and that means that we need to put together massive catapults.
Will you let me have a gun? I will remind you that I am your only way onto the Hellkite right now.
Fine. Peace. You know what? I'm going looser with things. I'm just letting stuff happen, more chaotic. Sure, why the fuck not? You can have a gun.
I will let you choose which gun.
Okay. I'm not giving you... We didn't take most of them.
I'm aware. You can give me the least dangerous or the most dangerous depending on how much damage you want me to do.
I'll think about it, but I'll give you a gun of some kind.
Acceptable terms.
Phenomenal. We're going to go to the Hellkite and we'll meet Claud there after he's done being inside of the big monster.
Okay.
Glad it wasn't me this time.
Certainly you'll be able to arrive at the Hellkite, landing there, way ahead of Claude. And it's not long after that a strange black shape will then also land on the ship.
Oh fuck, I pull out my gun.
Hey, who the fuck are you?
The same cloaked figure will be there. A familiar voice will go, "Is that only way to greet an old friend?"
I have two guesses.
Mm-hmm.
First one doesn't count.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not actually guessing.
Okay.
There are some options.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, black hand though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want it to be the Metal Man.
Why would it be the Metal Man?
He hates us.
No,
Can you
that's
just
not
tell-
that kind of voice. But anyway, suspense,
I was-
killing you.
Yeah.
It's not
Curious.
actually killing me. I am almost 99% sure I know who this is.
Oh yeah. A hood will come down, and a familiar-looking face. It's Radiant.
I knew it! I was right!
Radiant, you can't just fucking, call next time.
Wait, how is she supposed to call? Neither of us have messaging spells.
However,
would
the fuck...
Radiant?
Cole's been talking in my head.
That's
However,
because
Cole
Cole
has
is
been
smarter
doing...
than us somehow. Oh, hi, Radiant.
Hello,
can I have a
hi.
ride?
Sure. Nim sent me.
Why? Why?
No,
Well,
no.
honestly,
yeah,
that tracks,
yeah, actually,
but
that's
also
a good
why?
thing. Oh, because we need help badly during all this.
Because
Yeah, but
there are
why-
things
why-
that he was able to find out rapidly that were not easy to convey through the stones that he gave you. And I happened to be there at the time, assisting him in Wintress. As one of the elders of this world, I had questions for him, and he had some answers.
Nim answered you?
Yes.
Wait, name, direct answers?
Well, if you know what to ask, yes.
I don't even know what the questions are.
And that's the
42.
problem. Look,
Sorry.
it's good to see you both again. I'll help you out and get on my way again with this entire issue.
So, you should probably know, you probably know what we're dealing with. Giant, lizard, dragon, metal thing. What's going on with you?
Why don't we talk about Dragon Lizard Metal thing for a little bit, and then we'll worry about what's going on with me if we have the time to.
Okay.
So, to keep the long story short, I did find out some things from Nim that are dangerous about Traxos.
Everything?
That too. Now, Traxos is from before Nim's time, but apparently there were others that were older than him, that he learned some things about to begin with. And there were some folks he could speak to from around that time period that had more information. There are records that weren't lost. They're hard to find records, Not many people know about them. But through a little magic, shenanigans, and contacting the right people, Nim got this information and gave it to me. And of course, I could get here quickly. As you can see, I can travel faster now. That's a different story. Worry about that in a minute. Anyway, Traxos is more dangerous than we thought, or you thought, because it's partially organic. Sort of.
I mean, so is the Goblin.
Yeah, I'm so sick of everyone stealing my style.
It's different than you, Claude.
Claude?
Kaz.
Is it like...
That's me.
Why-
That's me.
When did Claude
That's the DM. Because again, you also have so many goddamn names that sound so similar.
Yeah, we all start with a
to be
K.
fair.
Yes.
Claude, Cole, Carrie, Cass,
Yeah.
Now Cash.
Cash.
That was my fault because
That was you, yeah.
I was searching through some random generator, so it's the best sounding one. Anyway, but Kaz, it's very different than you. Traxos wasn't possible until something was dug up on another continent. The bones of an elder dragon.
Remind me. Is Nicol Bolas, is that an elder dragon or a different type of dragon?
He is an elder dragon.
Oh, so this is the worst option.
Yes.
Well, so this is the worst option.
Unfortunately, yes. They're not easy to kill. But during the Great War that they had, well, there were some survivors. Before the time of the Brothers' War, a few of those survivors passed away. Not many of them. Most of them are said to have passed away after that time or disappeared in the annals of history, not knowing if they're alive or dead. There's only a few documented cases of them after the Great War in the history books. All that we have about that Great War is, of course, left over from the Numena's writings.
So, which elder dragon are we dealing with? Is this the one that Maxwell lied about being?
No.
That was funny.
We can't identify it for sure, but it is said to be the mate of the one that Maxwell lied about being, Chromium.
That's funny.
Yes.
Huh.
An elder dragon called Piru, who was also supposed to be the mother of Croesus, one of the primeval dragons.
Okay. So,
We can't confirm that for sure, because we don't know if any other... We can only speculate how many elder dragons actually survived the Great War. It could have been a lesser one that managed to survive through some other kind of trickery, perhaps, only to die in the meantime. Regardless, its bones were discovered on a farther continent. Once this continent, Argive, was ravaged during the latter end of the war, Mishra and Urza began ravaging some of the other continents for resources. The bones were discovered, and were used as a basis for creating Traxos. Now, Traxos is bigger than Piru would ever been, or whatever Elder Dragon was. But it's said that the bone structures are built into certain places because it helps. Dragons are excellent at manipulating mana and energy sources, and therefore increases the magical energy flows of Traxos and its ability to use it more effectively. That was the idea. Insert a little bit of a dragon actually into it. Because even dragon bones, especially one of an elder, are still incredibly powerful. Problem with that is, something that hasn't occurred, but could. Phyrexians have a way of bringing things back from the dead.
Oh.
And there
So
was...
this isn't just a metal dragon. This is possibly an undead elder dragon with metal on it.
Maybe. Best case scenario, it hasn't awakened. Worst case scenario, it has awakened.
What makes it the worst case scenario?
Yeah, how do you mean awaken? Like the elder dragon consciousness awakened?
That's what Nim believes might happen. It's assumed that Traxos has a form of consciousness, yes? What happens when it realizes that that form of consciousness is just part of... I guess it's like someone that has lost all their memories, waking up and remembering everything. It'll be like...
Is it possible that the elder dragon's not evil?
When have we ever had that fucking luck?
Technically, the thing that attacks your hometown wasn't evil, just confused.
If we're...
Yeah, but it's fucked up.
If we're lucky and it is Piru, there is a chance. Chromium, according to most sources, was the elder dragon that liked, well, humanoids the most. The lesser beings. Saw them more as pets to be taken care of. Was impressed with the humanoids' ingenuity, their abilities to create, especially humans. Carry you at least have some blood of. It's assumed that probably Piru would be at least similar to a degree, but we don't know a lot about her.
Could we intentionally wake her up?
Maybe. If you're thinking... If we get lucky and it's Piru, and the ancient texts about her are, well, a little bit that's there, assuming that, she is connected with chromium.
And hasn't been corrupted by Phyrexian technology.
Well, that might be difficult for an Elder Dragon in general. And I believe Piru did use black mana.
There wasn't too much black mana being drawn in naturally, except a little bit that was influencing. Although it's possible that it wasn't drawing in black mana because it already had black mana.
Now, the thing that Nim said is, because Elder Dragons, as they exist, similar to the primeval dragons, are connected with a spectrum of mana energies, are good at manipulating them. Giving an example of Rath, who I guess lives here with her brethren, if Rath has been reborn or not. But regardless, those of Rath's brood.
Oh, the primeval dragon of Yavimaya
Yeah.
has been reborn.
Good to know. Anyway, it connects primarily with green mana, similar to the forest, but can also manipulate red and white. Piru was thought to have 3. Again, the evidence screams Piru, but it's not 100%. It's maybe 90-95%. We are lucky.
That's pretty good.
Red, white, and black are the energies. Right now, what are the manas that are being absorbed? I see you using the monocle.
Yeah, I'm using the monocle. Remind me, it was green, blue, and some white?
Green, blue, red, and black. Not much white at all. Because there's not naturally a lot of white mana in the area. The black mana seem to be like an extra source that you're not sure where it came from. The blue, green, and red were natural in this area.
It seemed to be mostly naturally green, red, and blue. However, there was black. It was like it was added on. Like it wasn't originally part of it. This black mana was some secondary source that I couldn't tell if it was like suppressing or additive. Yeah.
If you want to try to wake up the dragon, with the information Nim gave me and what you've given me, I'm going to guess we would need all 3 mana sources. A direct infusion of it, maybe. There's already 2 that seem to be being channeled in towards it. We would just need white mana somehow.
White mana, white mana, white mana. What do I have? I think I'm gonna get good at mana manipulation. Damn, artifacts are mostly colorless, huh?
But there are some, I will tell you, that could probably alter mana's color from one to another. Those do exist.
Now, I'm looking at the card for the Candelabra of Tawnos.
Mm-hmm.
You pay X
Mm-hmm.
to untap X separate lands.
Mm-hmm.
Is that an exchange of color, possibly?
It could be if you're in an area that has that. It would be like... The idea is to basically draw a lot of energy to infuse the energy from where it's at, kind of, back into the natural landscape.
Got it. So I would need to have naturally occurring white mana to be able to convert into white mana.
In that case, yes. The candelabros wouldn't really work right now, unfortunately.
But artifact, would I own any of these artifacts?
You do own one. You've got the Lotus.
Oh, the Lotus.
It can produce a limited amount of white mana. It's not a lot, but it's some.
A direct infusion of white mana would be necessary?
Traxos is an artifact creature, and the problem with artifact creatures is that they don't have a central brain like organic creatures do. Just because you destroy their head or other parts of the body doesn't mean they lose their consciousness. We'd have to figure out a core place, either to draw a consciousness to, or to gain its attention to, and then infuse that mana in that spot, most likely.
We were briefly considering finding, like, the power core of Traxos, where, like, its main power processing happens.
That might do it, or if you could somehow get its attention, distract it.
We are good at getting things attention.
We are very, very good at that.
And once it's distracted, someone slaps it in, I guess, its head or wherever you're distracting it with. If you focus on its head where that would be, then its energy would be focused there. Its senses would be focused there.
So if we just literally get in its head,
and then have someone outside grab its attention, we could infuse its head with that energy. Theoretically, there should be enough red and black already, maybe, and the white mana, and that might jumpstart Piru?
I can get the white mana. In
I
fact,
can take distraction.
I think. Well, we have this flower. This gilded flower. That could theoretically produce mana of a certain variety, whatever I wish. Not a lot, but some. I'm thinking I overload it to deliver an unnecessary amount.
That could do it.
It will break it, and I will have to spend time to repair it. But I'm a semi-successful sailor now and have the gold.
If Piru wakes up, then we might not have to worry about any Phyrexian corruption. The power of these things is beyond what Phyrexian technology should be able to affect. But that would require its energies to realign almost. We still have to worry about the mana that's going on, especially the black mana, jump-starting something Phyrexian in the meantime, too.
We do technically have a man on the inside right now. Literally.
As you say that, Claud shows up, climbing up the side of the boat.
Never mind.
Oh,
Claud.
You alive?
It has some pretty nasty defenses.
We did see you get shot.
It was funny.
The spikes shoot electricity, and it has some kind of field also around it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I had a conversation with our sliver frenemy.
Okay.
Was it a good conversation?
It was a conversation that he felt he should give us a warning because something happened sooner than it should have.
Is this the fault of our friends, those evil people? This
Well,
whole thing.
I'm pretty sure they put some Phyrexian oil in it.
Bad.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, I don't like it either.
Also,
I think-
Radiant here.
Hi, Radiant.
Hi.
I think So, Phyrexian oil just makes things a little bit worse for us, because I think if we need to do this whole jumpstart deal, so there might be an Elder Dragon consciousness slumbering inside of Traxos. It might be a good one, though. If we are going to do this whole waking it up thing, we should do it as soon as possible, so that it happens before the Phyrexian oil takes over.
They also put something else in it, which I don't know what it is.
I hate them.
It was to wake it up if they needed it as a distraction.
It's very
And
It wasn't supposed to wake up yet.
Are we sure it wasn't supposed to wake up yet? Because this is a
As
distraction.
far as he knows, it wasn't.
And he wasn't lying
That's
to
why
you.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
He seems to be a neutral party, really. He's not really with them. He's only doing stuff with them to get what he needs to help the slivers. That's why he said if it comes down to us fighting them, he will step aside.
That's good to know.
I can get it.
This might change things, though. There might be too much black mana at this point in time, especially if the oil's there causing effects.
Also, I saw a weird creature in it that looks kind of like me, and a humanoid kind of face that's permanently screaming.
Don't like that.
You could
He
roll
made the
a-
check last week,
You made a check last week? Okay, and you didn't make it.
but we hadn't actually. That you like, you know, Kaz technically.
Oh,
you
he
know,
rolled an
looked at that
Arcana,
and you had
Yeah.
him roll it, but so technically he could already know this now.
Yeah, it is a transmographic, which is basically a foot soldier created by Ashnod, who took human volunteers and basically transmuted them to liquid metal creatures. And I'll use the term volunteers loosely.
Yeah.
Also, apparently, the way Sliver Friend got in after installing the 2 devices, the damaged area repaired itself.
Okay, so there was a way in, but now there's not a way in.
Well, I got in another a different damaged area, but I had to goop. Yes.
Okay. What if we blow a big hole in it and use that as a damaged area to get in?
Give me a moment.
Yeah, okay.
Raiden's gonna look out into the water.
Can't we blow a big hole in it? I want
Ah!
that.
I also want to
Claude,
blow a
just stand here for a moment.
Okay.
She'll reach a hand out as some kind of it looks like maybe a shark. All of a sudden red stuff will come out from the shark as it looks like she just drains it of something.
Hot.
And then she's gonna kind of put a hand on you, Claude, and you're gonna feel better.
That was hot.
Thank you.
Radiant.
That was super hot.
Have you learned some new tricks?
Heal 20.
Okay, I'm at least up to 47 out of 69 now.
Yeah, nice.
Nice.
I've learned a bunch of new tricks. Look, I know where I come from now, what I am to a degree, and I'm a little weirder than I thought I am, but also, look,
3 times as hot.
I am
Sorry.
kind of a vampire also, but not quite.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Knew this was vampiric.
It's from your dad's side of the family.
That yes and no. Look, we got a plan.
Constitutionalization is complicated.
Yes. I can talk about it more. I've learned more, but maybe we should get together.
This-
Sure, we'll have some drinks. Might not be able to wake up
What
Elder
about
Dragon,
all
though?
those other people in the campsite? Shouldn't we talk to them too? They looked like they were
Oh,
working on something.
God, yeah, we gotta get back there. I came here to let everyone on the ship know that we're probably gonna go into battle and to ready all, our weaponry and everything, Make
Get me a
sure
gun.
that the oil. That's right. I promised to let Carrion use a gun.
I'm really worried about the friction oil part.
The problem is that's a lot of excess black mana into the system, more than normal, because of the. And we knew there was black mana there, but it could be having a more lasting effect.
And we don't know what the other device was. I did not stick around long enough to check what that was. I know where it's roughly located.
I think I could siphon off some of the black mana and disperse it naturally and just make the the land here a bit more mana saturated with this candelabra.
That might work.
So I'll use this in conjunction with the flower in order to jumpstart an Elder Dragon. I love my life. I love my life so much.
It's like you've got jumper cables for a car.
Except one of them's a flower and the other's a fucking candelabra.
You've got jumper cables for a goddamn dragon.
The only thing is, are we sure it's a good dragon? Because if it's not, we might be making things even worse.
95%.
honestly, Nim was worried about you attempting to fight this thing. He described it as probably in its current form worse than an Elder Dragon in a way.
What if we make it more Elder Dragon?
Worse because it's less controlled destruction. The Elder Dragon part could be bad/worse in its own ways. It's an Elder Dragon, and we don't know how to react to being dead for countless years, and its corpse having been desecrated into some kind of machine monstrosity.
Cash can relate. We have a new friend named Cash who was made asleep for thousands of years and had her body machinified.
Great. No, that's fine. Look,
You're not the only one who has weird things happen.
that's true.
The only one making new friends.
There's another person whose name starts with a K sound. Also, 2 new people. We also have someone else named Cole.
Oh yeah, I forgot you don't know Cole. I want to fuck his daughter.
I don't even know his daughter.
I'm not stepping on that. I suggest you take my technique and just not step on it.
Let's go back to those other folks over in the little city in the middle of the forest and go talk to them then. I'm sure one of them is this Cole and this girl you're talking about, or bleeding Kesh, thank you.
She's Stranian.
That's interesting.
Yeah, yes it is. Yes it is. Thank you.
How's
It's so
that
good
work?
to have another Artificer. You see, I was curious too. I mean, she's Thrannian, but she was put into stasis before the fall of the Thrannian Empire. But then she reawoke during the Brothers' War and was put... Yeah.
Nerd shit later.
Okay. I need to go get some supplies.
And
Then
my gun.
That's one of the supplies.
I guess you want me to grab Claude and take him over to the place.
You
I'm
do
waiting
that.
for Kaz.
You can take Claude. Carrion will take me in the bag. And then we'll all meet up at the camp.
I'll do it the old-fashioned way. It's probably better not to wraith Claude an unnecessary dark magic. Anyway.
Okay.
She'll kind of move some of the robes out of the way to unfurl her jet black wings, black feathered, and grab Claude and just grab you very unceremoniously, just to scoop up, because honestly you're probably not feeling great. And she'll kind of give you a pat on the back and be like, "Let's just, we'll meet him over there."
I've had enough weird crap today.
You are weird crap.
Honestly, this is
So are you.
actually pretty. I don't know if it's more weird or less weird than my normal days lately.
Well, you're hanging out with Nim. Either could be true.
Nim is unique, to say the least.
Yes.
Anyway, so we'll take our break here at this point in time, at least the first break. So if you snack, drink, bathroom break, go ahead and do them, and we'll be back as we assemble everybody back in camp.
Ooh, campy.
War efforts.
War efforts, whee! These buttons, that must go back. Ice cream Mike. Hi everybody, welcome back.
I got ice cream on my mic and I got sad.
Mute and then lick it off.
Mike scream. Mike scream.
Mike's
Now y'all get to see me be a fucking heathen and bite my ice cream.
You bastard.
I mean, when you get down to that low, you do bite your ice cream sometimes. It's easier.
Just don't bite your cream ice.
Heretics, all of you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anyway,
My ice cream, so there's that. But
you're heading back to Krug, and you'll get there with maybe some extra things in tow. Cole, everybody's gonna show up, and the large figure now has the hood down and has revealed under the billowing robes a massive pair of black wings with black feathers. And it's now flying on those wings with black feathers.
Is
I'm
that
not
Angel?
even phased by this anymore.
Who's also carrying, like, coal, like a sack of potatoes.
Not a
Carrying
coal.
Carrying me.
God.
Oh,
God, Claude. Goddamn C
We
names.
did not make this easy for you.
You didn't. I'm bad with names in real life, and you're trying to get me. Too many C names, damn it.
You dropped me off and picked coal up, apparently.
Look, technically
God.
mine's a K.
Yeah.
It's the same.
One is a K
It's the
here.
English language, so it sounds the same. Fuck the English language.
I see you're alive. Where are the other idiots?
On their way, and that hurt. I don't recommend trying to land on top of the dragon.
No, that. Well, it looks like it really fucked you up.
It was much worse before our friend here. Oh, Radiant. Cole, our friend Radiant.
Hi.
Hello.
What brings you to this group of folks?
Well, they
Money.
hired me as a guide, and now I'm stuck here.
No, you don't actually have to be.
We're his ride back home, back to civilization.
Also, I figure, like, that big monster is pretty terrifying, and, like, it might go over and kill my family, so I should probably help deal with it.
No, that's reasonable. I mean, like, after we've taken.
Oh,
care
yeah,
of
after
it.
this, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I've got, like, 10 kids I could go home and see.
Yes. Carrie was talking about wanting your daughter again.
Yeah. No, I just ignore that at this point. Which is, I mean, good luck to her. My daughter's married.
Bold of you to assume Carrie isn't a homewrecker.
Carrie's not a home wrecker.
She could be.
I wouldn't put it past her.
Also bold of you to assume I wouldn't seduce both. I'm gonna go back to eating my hamster snacks now.
Eat your hamster?
We just all just like,
No, my hamster snacks.
They're snacks for hamsters that Mads eats.
I like Scooby
are
snacks.
they made with real hamsters?
Yeah. We grind them up.
Assuming that
No!
hamsters are made out of strawberries, yes.
No, I would never.
Look, hamsters eat strawberries. You are what you eat. Ergo, hamsters are strawberries.
The
I'm not
math,
gonna
the
eat
math
ginger
checks
snaps.
out.
Ginger Snaps isn't a hamster.
He is in fact a hamster.
I thought he was a guinea pig.
No, he is a Syrian hamster. The guinea
You're
pig
a
is Americana.
Syrian hamster.
Anyway, eventually the other two will show up.
Oh, good. You're still alive. Hello.
Hello. Nothing can kill us.
I don't.
Good.
Yes.
They
my
were smart. They stayed away from the dragon.
Wait, they were smarter than you.
Yes. Usually we are.
Yeah, our combined intelligence is like 12 times that of
Ridiculous.
yours.
Look, we are in fact very intelligent individuals.
We're just
Don't
not
make-
white.
Yes, we don't make good decisions.
You're just not wise.
Yes.
Combined,
I
we
mean-
have impulse control of like one peanut.
I'm reasonably wise. I just
don't we have the
choose-
same wisdom?
I'm 11.
I'm a 12.
Dead.
I'm reasonably wise. I just choose not to.
I'll just go for the
Carrie's
traditional.
rubbed off on her too much.
Listen,
on
listen,
him too
listen.
much.
Heal another 18, Claude. Carrie's just
Thank
like,
you.
just do the traditional. I don't want to make a mess around here.
Listen. How exhausting is it dealing with us and our bad decisions?
Very.
Radiant, yes, thank you. It's less exhausting to cause the bad decisions. This is the lesson that Carrion has imparted upon me. I'm no longer Radiant. You remember, I used to make sure that the good decisions were made. I'm not doing that anymore.
Cause chaos.
I want to get drunk at squirrel parties.
Look, okay, I'm not making the good decisions for you. I already raised 10 children. I'm not raising 3 more.
You don't have to.
Okay,
Claude's the one who we elected to make the good decision.
And I jumped on the back of a giant dragon.
Carrie's just gonna side-eye you, Claude, when they say that.
You mean Radiant.
Carrion?
Radiant. Oh my god. My
I mean,
brain.
Carrie probably is too.
My brain
No.
is just fried today. Sorry. Don't worry about it.
Me.
Everybody's sighing at you. So Radiant's gonna side-eye you, Claude, just like a really.
That wasn't even my idea. That was literally entirely Claude's idea. I, in fact, think I tried to talk him out of it.
I wanted to go inside the dragon.
I'm the only one who could actually probably get in. Well, I figured I was the only one who could get inside, and that was true. And if
For
I
now.
didn't, I don't know if I would have heard from our friend, and I wouldn't have known about the oil.
Right. Cole, let's catch you up. There are several factors impacting Traxos the Dragon. Why am I doing this just to you? Let's get everyone. Let's round up
Yeah,
the
we
leaders
have
of all
like
the
a war
factions.
council we could
Yeah.
tell this to. You might want to get your new king, and I'll gesture to our new king, who is just probably still staring off in the distance.
Mm-hmm. He's like up on top of like the ruins of a building, like leaning on a tree that's going through it. You know, just like kind of like staring, waiting, just waiting, ready.
He made me confront the fact that my father's not my real father. It's like a whole thing. Like a whole thing.
That's
Fine.
I'm sure you can deal
that's
with
kind of the
that
same
whole
for
thing.
me a little bit, but my real father is my real father, but not also my real father.
We
just
gotta
had a-
catch up. We
I
need
Yeah,
just
we
you
had
really
a
do.
You
I
and
just
me.
had a conversation with a man with a banjo. I don't know why you people had weird things.
I fought my giant self,
That was probably your own fault.
and then made peace with it.
I'm
We've
a
had
demon.
a time.
I'm the incarnation of daughter of an angel and a vampire, but not just a normal vampire. It's worse, but we'll talk about that.
I am, in fact, still just a goblin. This whole time. Goblin. Straight up. Keeping things simple. I'm a goblin who's replacing parts of my body with machinery. That's a whole other thing. Let's go to the
Replacing
war.
your
council.
eye now, because that.
I
looks
already
like-
replaced my eye. This is the monocle. It welded itself to my fucking metal eye.
Yeah,
In
that
fact,
doesn't-
give me a second. I'm gonna take a wrench out and I'm gonna pry the monocle off.
It'll take you a bit. It was
Would you like
under
a
pretty
crowbar
badly.
instead.
Help!
I'm
Can
just
I
a
do it?
normal person. I don't have anything weird.
Don't you have a daughter?
That's
from-
not true. You have a staff that can create hurricanes.
That's not that weird compared to you 3.
Isn't your wife like super powerful?
Yes, she's a powerful druid.
Exactly. That's kind of weird.
You will
Kind
be
of
managed to
hot,
get
more
the monocle off, but take 13 damage from horrible amounts of it being born into your eye. You know, and flesh and metal. You know, it was really attached in there.
Every time. I don't. Radiant,
Hmm.
I know you don't want to make good decisions for us anymore.
Hmm.
Should I just leave the monocle on next time?
Honestly, we don't know enough about it for me to give you a good example of whether it's a great idea or bad idea. Seems like it gives you an interesting ability, though you can't turn that ability off, can you?
I can't. It's
Yeah.
slightly maddening.
See, that's a problem. So I would say probably better to take it off.
Okay. I can occasionally feel like it's trying to take over my mind. I'm gonna take it off after I use it, I think.
It's probably a good idea.
I'm gonna start creating removable layers to the mechanical eye to place it on top of, so I can just take the layers off rather than pry it out. War Council!
Yes, we should go deal with that.
Alright, everybody will head to the War Council. I mean, Grunt's not there unless you try to go get him. But
I'm not talking to that man. He's gonna kill me if I do.
I will walk over and ask him if he would like to join the discussions.
He will not respond to you. Just kind of like glare a little bit, and then kind of stare off in the direction of Traxos some more.
Okay then. And I'll walk away.
You're like, alright then. Take that as a no. Take that as a no. Alright.
Not big in the talking.
So, War Council has been assembled. As I said before, there seems to be a delegation from the guerrilla tribes that have now been assembled under the banner of Grun. So these are like a small group of, you assume, elders from some of the major tribes. There is a group of some of the Yavamayan elves, but again, it's not that they all look alike. They all look slightly similar. You know, you can definitely tell them apart, but they're weird and hive-minded. The elven barbarians from the border have, there seems to be like a small group of them. They're like, you know, barely wearing any clothes, you know, just like, you know, got like massive weapons on their back, you know, they're very quintessential barbarians. Looks like they have like, probably like magical tattoos they use, some kind of tattoo magics, for their green magic. Then you have, of course, Calm and his group of druids, and your very good dragon friend Teravith. Or Teravith. So everybody is there and represented that you've assembled.
Okay. Time for the report on our reconnaissance mission to look at the big metal fucking dragon. I'm not good at charisma, so I'm just going to say this blatantly. Unless you would like to take over, Claud, it'd be good at charisma.
I mean, I don't know if we really have to be charismatic about this, but
Great.
I can be.
Here's the shit. The giant mechanical dragon at this time seems to simply be amassing power in order to be able to, you know, fully effectively do whatever it is that it plans on doing. There are the original elements created with the dragon and several others that have been augmented onto it by some people that we hate, because one of them keeps stealing my shit. This includes some technology that is Phyrexian in nature. In addition, we found out that the effective base of Traxos is the skeleton of an elder dragon. We have a theory about which elder dragon it is. We are going to have 3 teams for this. One team is going to be made of all of our armies. You are going to be fighting a couple dozen giant metal dragons of your own. It's going to be a lot, but we assembled an army for a reason. Then 2 teams mainly made of those who are us. Some of us are going to go into whatever the Phyrexian stuff is and try to diffuse as much black mana as possible into probably blue or green mana to the surrounding area using this candelabra. Yes. Put that on the table. The other group is going to go inside of its head. Now, this is where the large armies fighting the dragons are going to come into play. I need you to hit it in the head. I need you to make it focus on its head, drag all of its senses to its head, and then I'm going to try to wake up an elder dragon. It's going to be a lot.
We have a dragon that we might be able to tap for information on that one.
Oh yeah, it's your
Yes.
mother. I think.
No,
We think.
wrong one.
No?
Wrong one.
Wrong one?
Wrong one. Rath
Wrong
is
one,
different than
never-
Croesus.
primeval.
It-
I don't
The
understand.
primevals are the children are like the generation below the elders. Effectively.
Yeah, and wasn't it like Chromium's partner is the one who gave birth to the one that resides in Yavimaya?
No. Gave
Was
birth.
it a different one?
Yes, gave birth to I gotta get the right name here.
Too many
Croesus.
dragons.
Croesus.
Croesus.
Uh,
Croesus, that's right. Croesus is different.
Croesus, also known as the Purger. Probably. Its name meant death in the ancient Draconic language.
Oh. Neat.
That's not good.
Yeah, it would slay its enemies by screaming a word of death, which caused anyone that heard it to instantly die.
Power word kill.
Yeah,
How does one spell Croesus?
Crosis.
The Purger.
Yep. So, Croesus is the only of the primevals at this point in time that hasn't been reincarnated. Because he keeps getting imprisoned. Yeah.
Oh, I see where he's imprisoned. Fuck.
Yeah, he's hanging out in a tar pit in Urborg. Because he's the primeval dragon that hangs around Urborg. Because Urborg...
We're not going to deal with that.
You don't need to right now. You haven't done anything to activate. We need to deal with Croesus. Also, I don't think anybody would be stupid enough to try to deal with him. He just speaks a word and he just power word kills in a mass area. He's like a Whale of the Banshee effect he can just do as a breath weapon. It's kind of awful.
What if you can't hear anything?
I don't know how that would affect it in general, because it just says hears it. It's also a massive primeval dragon that is probably full grown. So, I mean, there's a lot to say on that one. Anyway, no, you have a reincarnation of another one of the Primal Dragons.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
Mhm.
There's too many dragons.
There is a lot of them. There's a lot of elders, surprisingly, and then there are the 5 primevals.
We might want to see what she knows about this one.
The primevals. The thing is, they tapped into an energy of their creator, the dragon, and that's why they can reincarnate and stuff like that. So on paper, they're not as powerful as the elders, but they tapped into very powerful energy sources. Like, if you just had Rath fight one of the Elder Dragons straight up, the Elder Dragon would definitely win. But Rath has the ability to, or in this case, Rath, who's your reincarnation, has the ability to wake up the forest as a bunch of an army. You know, that's a different power. That's a specialized power. Croesus has a death word he can scream out. So anyway, yes, but you've got Tevriath will actually speak up. What do you mean by elder?
Elder Dragon is in the generation above
Yes.
an evil dragon.
Do you know of which one?
We're thinking Piru.
She seems in thought for a little bit. Our memories are not great of all the elders, save from those that birthed our original. But the memories are not as... It is like a book only you can read, with cliff notes, with notes in it. I wouldn't call it cliff notes, with notes in it, for you to know more details. That tells you what you are, but you are not quite it, also. It's strange. Regardless, though. If this is true, I would volunteer to assist on this end. I may be able to assist if there's some form of awakening and perhaps interpretation. I could try speaking the ancient dragon language. Since I am still young and a reincarnation of an older one, I might not have respect like I would have with my previous incarnation. But I can still speak the language.
That will be useful. It's at least more than any of us can do.
Agreed.
How big is Rath?
Horse-sized.
So getting her into the headspace won't be easy.
She's large, long, so I would say she could probably squeeze through the areas certainly that Claud was in. If there's a lot more of those corridors like that, it would be a little bit of a squeeze, but could.
Problem is, we would need to open up a much bigger hole or have her get through the mouth.
Well, we are planning on throwing a bomb down the mouth. That would make a hole.
Possibly. We don't know what it would actually do on the inside. We don't know how tough this thing is.
You doubt my explosive capabilities.
I'm just saying we don't know.
I'll wrap this bitch in C4.
I mean, I know another weak spot too in the armor. But if I'm going to do that, I'm approaching it from the water this time, not the air.
Right.
That hurt a lot less.
What did it do to you exactly?
The spikes shoot electricity, and it has a force field wrapped around it.
Well, lightning doesn't hurt me that much.
Same!
Lightning causes me physical pain.
It does me as well.
Also possibly channel it somehow. I'll be honest, I'm still kind of new to these weird powers.
Ah, so you do have weird things.
I can control weather and somewhat lightning.
That's weird. You're in the club, I'm sorry to say.
You're an honorary member of the club.
There are no benefits to this club. In fact, people tend to kill you when you're in this club.
You wouldn't
lot.
be the first person who... There's a lot of people who have tried to kill me.
Then that's another condition of membership in the club.
You are a lot older than most of us, except for Claude. He doesn't count.
I don't want to know how old he is. Everything I learned about him
One of me.
a little bit too weird.
All of you. Combined.
Well, I was gonna say, technically I'm different ages depending on which personality you're talking about.
We're talking about the regular Claude. Silver goo.
I am the youngest here.
You're also a goblin.
I'm technically younger.
No, we're both 17.
This is Radiant.
Oh, Radiant. Oh, I thought that was Cash.
No.
Radiant, you also don't count.
Ages are so complicated.
But,
Not for me.
yes, it is possible I could maybe deal with some of the thunder and lightning and get through it, but we'll have to see.
You also can't fly on your own.
Kesh will speak up. If you're in my vehicle, the protection against the thunder and lightning actually might help getting us into it from getting shot down. Honestly. Make it easier to get in. Drop some bombs.
There's also a force field effect around it as well.
Okay, I looked it up because I wasn't remembering correctly. Force field is an artifact from the limited set. So it is artifact-based force field. So that is something known to be Dominaria. It's just I put on the level of they're very hard to make.
I want it.
That's one I cannot help with.
Kind of like on the level of, like, you know, finding a black lotus or something. which there
also had
isn't entirely
lesser
for that.
damage to me than the spines. Spines didn't attack me really when I was underwater, so that's why I'm not too worried about doing the water at least.
Real quick, before we discuss the intricacies of our part of the plan, you know, the whole infiltration, demolition, and mana manipulation, do any of you heads of state / army people have any questions?
Calm will speak up. Honestly, this is a little beyond our knowledge base. If the great dragon of the forest, current incarnation of the primeval, has said they can assist with what you are planning, then perhaps you have a good plan, and it would be executed. I assume what your plan is to do is to awaken a spirit of this ancient being to... I guess you're inhabiting the body that it is in now?
Yes. I also want to point out, I'm not trying to take I'm an artificer who's not trying to take over this machinery for my own purposes. I want that stated on the record for you elves, who were worried about me doing exactly that.
The one elf will speak up. Will start to speak, and then it'll kind of like do that thing where they cycle through themselves,
Yeah.
like before they did. It's like, we are watching. You have already done strange things. Things that are suspect. Uncovered ancient secrets. Perhaps individuals that were dangerous to return to the world. Looking at Kesh.
I don't think a 17-year-old girl would count as dangerous to the world.
The one will speak up. The Great War was started with lesser items than what seems to be within her body.
It's all about intention over tools.
I'm on... Calm will speak up. I'm on Kaz's side here. The young girl herself is not a problem. I assume you worry that she could be used, but she's an individual. And Kaz seems, and the rest of them seem more than likely protective of her. I think we'll be safe that whatever secrets we are worried about getting out will not.
Aboard the Hellkite, we always promote independent thought and, conscious action over just, unnecessary cruelties. And suppression. No suppression. We don't do suppression. No suppression, no oppression, all that sort of,
No oppression of any kind.
Well, Radiance can speak up now.
Except for impressions on comedy night.
Well, now that we've informed everybody what the plan is, we could try to go after Traxos now. But, thing is, it sounds like it's stabilizing its power source. I'd be worried that there might be secondary effects, at least, that would interfere with our ability to do what we want if we did that. I mean, what kind of explosives do you have?
Damaged power stones.
That doesn't sound precise. We need some precise explosives. Something that
I have a ship equipped with ballistae and mangonels.
Would that be enough to get its attention?
Well, getting its attention, we have an army for that. Here's the thing, it's not fully awake right now. I'm not sure we can get its attention. I don't know if it has an attention to get yet.
is it fully awake or is it not?
From what I could tell through the physical pain, it was still absorbing power passively. I don't think it was an active conscious process yet. Right? That's right?
You couldn't tell, honestly.
Yeah. I'm making a guess here.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on this in case it starts waking up and wrecking shit that I promised anything. I'm promising nothing. Other end of things. Some of us are hurt and running low on some of our abilities. It might benefit us to rest. We've been going pretty hard. We've been going non-stop since we decided to go to the ruins to find things, and we got cash.
The one barbarian man will speak. Elven barbarian man will speak up. Then, if you need to prepare for this, we will go watch the borders. Keep an eye on it. We will send word if it seems to be moving. Is that what we? Does that seem logical for this plan?
I would say so.
Yeah.
Then we will do what we always do. Yavamea will be protected. He's going to like turn to his other two, and they're gonna move off and leave.
I like him.
Well, sounds like we're going to be resting up.
I could use it.
Guess we can catch up on after we leave here on what's been going on.
I would like that.
So I'm guessing you can be assembled back to the hut that you were given here in the first place. Remember that good old hut that they lent you out back in the first time you visited? That before Thunder showed up?
Yeah, before things got too many squirrels.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as too many squirrels.
Hello!
There's that bitch.
Oh, good, you're here.
I'm here to watch everything burn!
You know,
Hey,
Why would you want to watch things burn?
I always want to watch things burn.
sometimes it's fun to watch a fire.
Do you want a fire?
No!
I wasn't there.
I'm good
But
at
I
fire.
don't know if your plan will go well or badly.
We could
Oh,
set
it's
your
going to
pants
go
on
horribly.
fire.
I wasn't going to show up, but then part of me was like, this might be interesting to watch at least.
Well, I mean, a lot of people might die, but it'll be fun.
Thus is the way of the world. A lot of people might die, but it will be fun.
Popped mushrooms?
What kind of mushrooms?
They go pop in your mouth.
I take one.
I
of these.
take 12.
Not in your hand.
They've got a weird kind of like poop in your mouth. Like they kind of, you bite into them, they kind of like poof, like they got like air pockets in them or something.
I thought you said poop in your mouth.
Yeah, I thought you said that too.
No poof.
Are these infecting me with? You have to be honest with me. Are these infecting me with spores?
Probably not. As you chews on some of them.
I pass.
I eat one.
I eat 12.
It's like it's popped mushrooms. They pop in
Do
your
they
mouth.
taste good?
They're mushrooms. They're basically
Pop in your
decent
mouth,
mushrooms.
Not in your hand.
I guess like the weird air popping is like the big call to like snacking on them or something. They're like lightly toasted over a fire, not enough to cause the air inside. It's like they toast them enough for those air pockets to kind of swell up a little bit, with they increase in temperature and stuff. So they pop a little better when you chew on them. So you want them fresh.
When you said pop mushrooms, I thought this was like a weird druid equivalent of like popcorn or pop rocks.
It
Same.
kind of is, except it's weird. Except it just pops, actually, in your mouth.
Not in your hand.
Not in your hand. Well, now that you're getting the snacks, I guess I can fill you in about what's been happening with me a little bit.
Yes.
Yes.
I began traveling the world a little bit and trying to learn some things about my... I knew a little bit about my history of my parents, but it gets more complex than that. And I have to be honest, I think it is only a small percentage that I was born because of Sarah. I'm still a Saran angel, a type of one, to a degree, but I'm born less because of that, and more because of, well, something that happened about 10 years ago. Carrie?
What? Oh, what? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What?
Something that happened more than 10 years ago in Urborg.
I don't like the sound of that.
Yes. It's a lot more complex than just that. But it was the trigger. A powerful creature died in Urborg. That was the trigger. Everything that led up to that, well, I discovered the history of my parents, learned about them. My father, well, he was a noble from the area of Urborg. And his guardian angel was my mother. What you didn't know is my mother, though she wasn't completed, was under the influence of Phyrexians, mind-controlled. That's great. Eventually some things happened on Rath. My father ended up killing my mother. Her essence effectively guarding him, but because of the dark action, he rose as a vampire. He then became Evankar of Rath during the time of the invasion, leading up to that. Krovax, a man who goes down in infamy in this world for leading an army against everyone that lived. Now, he did end up getting killed, and from what I can tell, my mother's spirit then tried to bring him away for a level of redemption, because they did have a love for each other. It would have been the end of that, and I think nothing would have came to it until we had these time rifts that occurred. You remember hearing about those, the rifts that happened?
Yes.
Well, turns out, which I didn't know about per se until I learned about it, as the rifts got worse, they caused an issue with the dimensional stability of Dominaria itself. To explain this in terms that I'm guessing Kaz will understand more, the planar makeup of our multiverse is that each plane individually is its own thing. Most planes appear in one format. Some of them can appear in multiple formats that are interconnected in various ways. These side dimensions are limited to each plane as themselves. So effectively, they're parallels of them. They occur naturally to certain planes, and others they are not. Certain planes cannot get this effect because they are connected to the multiverse in a linchpin kind of way. It's been speculated, but through Nim, I've managed to confirm that Dominaria is one such linchpin plane. Major effects here have ripples across the multiverse. Hence why, according to him, when the Ice Age occurred, it caused effects that were damaging other planes. When the rifts occurred, it caused effects that damaged other planes. The nature of him and our other friends that we met from other places, well, apparently according to Nim, their nature was very different until the rifts were closed, because it caused a ripple throughout the multiverse, because it's Dominaria's linchpin place. Now, that also means Dominaria has no parallels. It is unique. The problem with the rifts is they were creating parallels. In one of those, my mother still died, but rather than my father becoming cursed, he found a way to rise to the position of a hero. He avoided the main effects of the curse, resisted it, and took my mother's death to become a great warrior general among men. That spirit existed here for a brief time, and caused the lingering spirits of my father and mother to kind of alter. It, in fact, in a way, redeemed part of it, and that would have been the end of the tale, once the planar stabilities were returned, and the existence of this alternate version of my father disappeared. That was a major linchpin. It would have been a great warrior general during the invasion. That comes to a spark created by this. A spark that Sarah's energy could hook onto. A risen hero from the darkest places of Urborg. A warrior imbued with angelic energy rather than the dark energies that had partially corrupted my mother. With the rewriting, basically, that occurred. Anyway. That's when I was talking about Carrie occurred. Your mother died. An infusion of very powerful black mana came about, which, though there was a redemption in the spiritual energies left over between my mother and father, to a degree, with an influx of white mana, an influx of black mana occurred, and a sort of pseudo-consciousness. See, that's why I was originally drawn to you, because, well, I think once I saw you, I felt the need to follow, see what's going on. Because part of me was created maybe to help look after you and Urborg. The thing is, that's only part of it. And I'm more than a series of just one parts. And I found out about that. I've managed to unlock some of my other abilities as I am more than just a mere angel. I'm something weird and different that honestly shouldn't probably exist, because part of me is from an echo of an alternate universe that shouldn't be, according to the cosmology of the multiverse. Yeah, this got weird.
It can't not get weird when it's this group.
Yeah, that's true. Look, don't get me wrong. This is weird. You are an extraplanar being from partially an extraplanar being from an alternate timeline based on the decisions of your parents, specifically your father and his actions.
Yeah.
And then you came into being because Carrion's mother died.
And that unleashed a large amount of energy.
Yes.
That's fucked up.
Your mother's death was like a spark of creation for what was possibly me.
A main central nexus event for a lot of magical energy and mana manipulation.
Yeah, that's fucked up and I need a drink.
I'm pretty sure some other things happened in Urborg because of that. You can't just kill something like that. And not have
The death of the daughter of the Archdemon would create, by necessity, a power vacuum.
Yeah, I don't want to think about that. Someone get me alcohol.
Yeah, you can have this. I'll hand Carrion a flask.
You're not
Cole,
getting
you're
that.
my new favorite.
I have plenty of flasks.
I have to kill you now. No.
I've been thinking about it, and you had a connection with Muldrotha, right? This might be another reason behind it. Muldrotha had been developing from before then, but that kind of energy unleashed, an elemental like that, would have absorbed some of it. it might be that Muldrotha sees you maybe even as a little bit of a sibling because of that. It got more powerful.
Hey, we're not fighting tonight, right?
I don't think so.
No, the
Oh,
plan is
right.
to fight tomorrow.
If I stop drinking, I'm dead.
Carrion's gonna get drunk and pass out, and in the morning I'm gonna cure Carrion's hangover. Standard procedure. I'm gonna get a little tipsy. I just found out that my father is a cuckold, and the asshole who stole my designs is technically my ancestor, and I'm gonna kick his ass.
Get drunk with me.
Yeah. It's not as
This-
bad as. Look, hey, Radiant. Cole's ancestor.
Oh my
Maxwell.
fucking god!
It's Maxwell.
Maxwell!
Yes.
We now have proof that Maxwell fucked!
I mean, I thought we already had that.
Kind of. I mean, he's a skeleton right now.
Well, we didn't have proof he fucked. We had proof he boned. Different.
That is
More punny.
He was alive.
God, didn't you miss this?
Honestly, not really. No, I didn't. I did miss all of you, but some of the terrible puns were just a little much. Look, I spent a lot of time not only looking into all this stuff and finding out about it, but, you know, exploring what it means to be an unusual being like myself. I'm probably a lot farther from the angels back in Benalia that I met, and closer to something of what, honestly, you are, Carrie. You're partially not of this world. I'm the same. We're strangers in a strange realm, in a place that we only partially belong to. And
Well, in an odd way, you're kind of sisters.
No, nope.
that's...
No.
Fuck off.
It's effectively the opposite of that, actually. Because the death of Carrion's mother was the Nexus event that created Radiant.
It jump-started something that was already a spark that was there. It was like wood on a fire, or wood on some coals that weren't quite lit.
It was literally like, I don't know how many of you have started fires.
Plenty.
A
I
lot.
think all of us have started a fire in our life at some point.
I helped burn down a village once.
You were drunken in prison.
I still helped.
You know when you're like actually first starting a small fire, and you get a spark into the tinder, and then you have to breathe onto the tinder in order to get it to start? It was the breath.
Yeah.
The death of Carrion's mother was the breath that gave birth to the flame.
I just meant because you're kind of connected to Carrie's mom.
Not making me act like I'm hitting on my sister.
Distant cousins at most.
Good enough.
I think, honestly, I think I could probably manifest some demonic powers. I haven't tried that. The advanced vampiric powers that I got from my father's side, which were basically supercharged through Phyrexian means to a small degree. He wasn't fully completed, but effectively he gained enhancements through Phyrexian technology to be greater than a normal vampire would be.
I think I'm gonna go try to bum some shrooms off of Thunder, the druid. I think he has some more fun.
He's still here. He never left.
Hey,
Ready?
Thunder, give us drugs.
Radiant, this is Thunder. He controls every squirrel.
Including, Manuel here. And yes, I did remember his name this time.
Chit 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 chit.
He's my best friend.
Let me just roll something here.
What direction
He's gonna
is
point
it?
off in a direction. You're not sure what he's pointing at this point in time, because you didn't ask him for directions, but, you know, he is.
Good job, Mandela. I'm so proud of you.
Mangrove here has been pointing in a lot of directions. Not usually, right? Doesn't matter. He's fun.
He's a good boy.
He's the best guide I have!
Yes.
He's great.
Radiant Thunder here controls, and I'm not kidding, every squirrel. Anywhere.
Not just squirrels, but they're the best.
Oh, you have your lion and your bear.
Those aren't controlled. I think those are more like work friends. I'm not
Yes!
convinced they're not druids.
I'm not telling!
Yeah. Do you have any shrooms? Like hallucinogenic?
Not on me.
Can you get us some?
Can you get us some?
I don't know if that's the best idea if we're going to be trying to do this mission tomorrow.
Feels like
We'll be unhigh by then.
I'm going to agree with the weird one over there. Honestly, as much as I'd like to see everything crash and burn here and you fail horribly, I'd prefer you to succeed while
Can you get some?
burning, possibly.
Can you get some to have as a celebratory thing afterwards?
Sure!
I'll
Acceptable.
take it. Yes.
I'll find some nice, interesting stuff. Some things that will really open your mind to understanding the nature of the universe.
I've
Fuck
done that
yes.
before. That's how I became more of a demon.
Okay.
Excellent!
Oh, that was just talking to your grandfather.
No, I also did drugs.
No, the drugs induced
yes.
that. I have procedural notes of the experience. Both times.
I'm going to actually go and get some rest because it's been a day.
I'm
You guys can
Super
party
drunk.
if you want.
Getting less drunk. I'm just gonna make sure Carrion doesn't die.
That's a
Carrion
good
can hurt
plan.
herself. I'm just gonna make sure she doesn't die. Yeah.
So I don't sleep or anything, so I'm just gonna go over there. If anybody wants to chat for a bit, not you two, you can drink and...
If you want to talk to me, I will listen. I don't actually sleep, you know that.
Yeah, but you just kind of zoink out and you don't respond.
Well, I'm aware of what you're saying. I just wouldn't be able to talk, or I'm not resting.
Cole,
But
you're
I
so
can
nice.
listen.
Why don't we talk? I'd like to know more about
Sure.
your Staff of Thunder and Lightning, or whatever it is.
Fair. I don't really know anything about it.
I don't know. Maybe I can take a look at it.
Sure.
Cool. Excellent. Let's just let them to go drink and...
Yeah, I don't
This
think
is
I'm
how
gonna-
we deal with our emotions,
That's
right?
not healthy.
We're not healthy people.
We're really not.
I'm systematically replacing parts of me with
Look.
machinery.
If you want to live as long as I
Voluntarily.
have, you're gonna want to be a little healthier.
I can't
literally-
physically can't live as long as you.
That's
I-
your problem.
I
That's
literally
racist.
drugs to not be mean.
I
Well,
will see you guys. in
Oh,
4
actually,
hours.
Radiant, that's a reduction. We have done. Carrie started doing less drugs, more tea.
I did. I've stopped doing as many drugs. Be proud of me.
I am proud of you. It's sort of
Yay.
like I ended up quitting drinking entirely because as much as it was fun to drown in your welling sorrow, it doesn't help. It's not productive. And I have to accept that all this strange things about me are things that I have to live with. And that's why I've been exploring more of these abilities I have, because I'm beginning to accept what my father was and what my mother was and what all these things that came into part of my being. I am indeed a type of Seren Angel. I could easily be the rank of an Archangel, probably, with the abilities I have. But also, there's other things, like normal angels don't have the ability to grow in certain ways. Though we've seen... I'm not going to remember her name out of game. Is it Triana? The Angel of the Weatherlight. I will look this up quickly. Tiana. Something like Tiana, who has a gift that ends up into Artifice, but she doesn't dive as deep into the secrets of it as you and I have, Kaz. It's because I'm different. I'm more mortal? I don't even know if I'm immortal. I didn't have a childhood. I didn't develop because I guess maybe all those years spent in a kind of spark before the blow of air might have been what I would have had as a childhood if that spark came early. I don't know. Anyway, enough of my weirdness for a little while.
I'm gonna go get drunk and forget the fact that my mother's death gave you not exactly life, but quicker life. I miss
Cash,
you,
have you ever had liquor?
Do not give her alcohol.
Mom. Can she have liquor?
I'm honestly
Can
not
she
sure.
process alcohol?
I can eat stuff.
All right, let's get you drunk.
If you give her liquor, I will burn your hut
I
down.
don't think
I already
a bunch of
burned
us
my house
getting
down.
drunk
I
is a
don't
good
have a house.
idea.
Tipsy.
I'll let you two drink. I'll try something later. I'll stick with Cole. Maybe he can. It sounds like you need to process some things, and honestly, as
Process.
much as like I've had a pretty weird time. I've already processed the entire waking up and not knowing anybody like 5,000 years ago. So
Yeah, congratulations on being emotionally stable. I don't have that.
yeah. Sorry. Maybe
I
you-
need
you-
therapy.
you need to talk to someone.
Through the same thing.
Yeah, usually finding someone really nice to talk about all this stuff with is pretty good. There was a nice a priest that I got to talk to a lot about these things when I was staying with Tanos. So maybe finding someone you can talk about that can, help you out with issues. I mean, they might not be able to give you the answers, but,
Kesh, I'm a demon. Priests don't like me.
No. We did already actually try the. Carrion, I hate to admit it, but we did try priest therapy once, and it was unfortunately quite helpful.
To be fair, that priest was pretty accepting of the fact that I have, horns. I'll give him that.
I don't think it needs to be a priest, just someone that might be able to help you by talking, even a little bit.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Look,
Find
I'm not
some.
saying I'm not unhappy about
I'm
everything.
gonna find help at the bottom of this bottle.
Hey, fuck it. Carrion, I got ears, you got ears. You want to go talk about our problems to each other?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
And get drunk.
You get drunk, I'll get tipsy.
That'll
Tess is
work.
gonna turn to you, Cole, and be like, "Do you think that's going to be productive?"
To be honest,
Honestly, it might be.
whatever keeps her from burning something down or doing something stupid.
I'm the one
Excuse
more
you?
likely to burn things
Yeah,
down.
I don't do that shit. I fight people.
Don't you have a bottle to drink from?
That wasn't in character. The bad Irish accent isn't here. That wasn't in character.
All right. So we'll have Cole, Kesh, and Radiant hang out for a little while. Claude's going to go rest, and Carrie and Kaz are going to go off and have a little bit of a drinking therapy session with each other. Is it going to help?
Fine.
Probably a little
It
bit.
might.
It might.
Actually.
Venting about like your issues while the getting drunk thing, probably not that helpful. Maybe
We're commiserating.
you're commiserating, but you are commiserating with each other, which probably helps to talk about that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So hey, emotional
Alcohol.
growth might occur.
We're not ignoring the problems. We're actually talking about them.
Yeah,
And then ignoring them.
yeah. See,
Gross.
The two of you have to get to, like, you know, Radiant or Cassius or even Claude's, like, level of stuff. Claude has horrible emotional scars, too. He knows, he's figuring out how to deal with it, though he dealt
He's
with...
had 300 years!
He did have 300
Yeah, but I
years.
hadn't figured out how to deal with it too recently.
You still
I-
had 300 years!
I've got like 30 years left in me until I find out how to artificially extend my life.
Yeah, bold of you to assume Carrie's gonna let you die.
It's true. Harry's gonna have the best necromancers in Erebor keep me alive.
Exactly.
Dance, puppet, dance!
Fuck you.
So, that's probably a good place to leave it off, because the next morning we're going to deal with some shit and probably have a battle plan going on. And that's going to be
It's
exciting.
taken us so long.
I'm shocked we have as competent of a battle plan as we do.
You actually have a really competent battle plan, and, you know, look, when you called Nim, I wanted to bring Radiant back, and I had a plan for it, and you, like, made it so much easier of a plan. I'm gonna admit, that was what happened when you were like, I'm like, oh, convenient. I can do this earlier.
Real quick, I appreciate Cole's existence as like the straight man of the group.
It's
Yeah,
great.
pretty much.
Just a dude. He's just a dude.
Cole has so much just some guy energy.
He's just some guy.
He's just
You're
here.
like, you know how the protagonist of Resident Evil 8 and Resident Evil 7, Ethan is just
Ethan?
some guy. He's nobody special. He's
Dealing
just some
with-
dude.
All this bullshit.
That's what's going on here.
It's nice to have a little bit of normal in this crackhead group.
Yeah.
We've got the most batshit people and some dude with a weird stick he found.
And a nice wife.
A hot wife and a weird stick.
Old man.
And children.
And a bunch of children. And probably an even larger number of grandchildren.
Yeah, probably at this point in time. We do not know the age range of your 10 children. They could be
No.
really well apart, you know.
I'm gonna take a long rest.
Same.
But yes, we'll end it here for today. We are only a little early, so it's not too bad. We got a pretty good session in. Yeah. So next time you can worry about Traxos and awakening the spirit of an elder dragon deep within it. Which will have results if you are successful.
Results.
I'm gonna have
Good or
to.
bad, you don't know.
I'm gonna have to think like deeply about what spells to equip.
Honestly, I'm gonna put it as the decision will be dependent on your actions, so I will leave that as a we'll see how well it goes.
Actions, not rolls, right? Because you're not gonna leave this up to luck, which we don't have.
I will probably influence it by rolls, but not leave the decisions to rolls. It's sort of like there will be percentage chance of good or bad dependent on what you choose, and then combine that with that percentage can be altered by like bad rolls or good rolls.
I'm putting together in my head which group goes to which, and we will have this discussion, but I'm having planned strategies.
Mhm.
That's never good for anybody involved. Mads can attest, I don't have good plans, I just have plans that end up working circuitously.
I mean,
They can be effective
At
sometimes.
at least we know one being that's going towards the head, because that's Teverith. You need
Yeah.
you need your dragon translator there, because honestly, when you're speaking to an elder, speaking into it in the elder dragon language, the ancient dragon language, is probably a good idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, hey, we have someone who probably knows more about dragons. Why don't we tap her?
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so let's give some shout outs, and we'll worry about some of the craziness next time, because as always, more craziness is going to occur. We all know that. It's very true. And I'm going to move this character sheet of Radiant from Season 1 to Season 2, because she went up again. At least for now. She might move back.
In Pog form.
But, Mads! Anything to shout out?
Hey, it's floor time. That's why I'm on the floor. Also, my leg really hurts because it's really fucking cold here. But other than that, yeah, hi, I'm here. There I am.
Okay. Fish.
Hi everybody, I'm Fish Harlan. I'm blonde now. This week you can find me joining a sculpture-based cult. This is the card I got. It's the Ministry of Sculpture. I don't know if we're worshiping sculptures or making sculptures of worship. But membership was free, so I mean, I say it's pretty good.
Cool. Momo.
Hi, you can catch me here on Wednesdays at a time I've forgotten again for when I play a pirate.
That's accurate. 8 p.m. EST. And of course, Joe.
I'm Joe. You'll find me here.
Yep. Tantastar and Dracovin. The main things on this schedule are, of course, discussing tabletop Saturday at 2 p.m. EST, where me and occasionally Momo and occasionally some other people talk about tabletop news of the week. Then we have, as Momo stated, Buccaneers of the Shackled Sea, which is going to be next Wednesday at 8 p.m. We should be back. We were just off this week, just because one of our people got married and was going to have 2 weeks off, and we only wanted 1 week off for them to miss it. You know, we were nice that way. So you'll get to enjoy us returning and them dealing with a horrible haunted ship, which is
And
hunting them down.
maybe our captain being able to hit a single attack this time.
I didn't roll very well for him. When I'm not rolling, it might be better, honestly. Yeah, and then this show should be back next week at 9 p.m. EST on Thursday. A couple other stuff will be on the pipelines. I'm just getting background stuff figured out, things like that. So expect announcements on Discord and Twitter when I have my better schedule made. I'm going to try to actually come up with a schedule. I think I'm going to try to plan a little ahead. I've been bad at planning ahead for stuff, and I'm going to try to do that a little bit. Not completely. I'll leave some time periods kind of like malleable for stuff, but I feel like I'll throw a couple more things on the schedule just for fun. But anyway, I'm glad you could join us. I hope you enjoyed the insanity in the show. There were some ups and downs of like some meetings, some revelations, and a little bit of like a emotional time period with a old friend who's now at least back for now, maybe for longer. Depends on how everything goes here also. But until next week, I hope you have a great rest of your Thursday evening. I had to remember what day of the week it was. God. My brain is a little fried today. You can tell from the names earlier. Great rest of your week if you can't join me for anything else. And stay safe, stay healthy, stay sane, and farewell until the next time. Goodbye, folks.
Sanity's overrated.
Definitely.
That's true.
It just really is.